Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of course,
China.
My name is Fernando, and
Ziv.
today we are with
Fuat Koroglu.
Koroglu.
Right.
Okay.
Fuat Koroglu. Yeah, I'll introduce a few words about you, Fuat, to our audience. So you are the GM here where we sit at the Wanda Vista Hotel in Dongguan, and you have a 30 years career in the hotel industry, right? And you worked for 24 years for the Kempinski.
Yes.
In different countries. You worked in Cairo during the Arab Spring. You work in Dubai. You worked you moved to China in 2012.
Yes.
And to Guiyang, and then to Beijing. And now you are in Dongguan. And we're keeping you very late. It's almost 10 o'clock tonight, right?
It's a pleasure.
And
it's a quite intense preparation.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be partner.
And we appreciate a lot for you having us in here. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's good to see you guys.
I would like to ask if you could tell our audiences where we are right now, because we've been to a few places in the hotel choosing where to shoot this episode.
Right.
So we ended up here. This is the
executive lounge on 21st floor.
Mm-hmm.
In a normal period before the famous COVID comes, this was the place, and our executive floor customer having the breakfast, and then after the returning back to the hotel, they're having the rest. It's a quite convenient place to do more personalized services having in this area. Quite empty now because famous COVID.
Yeah.
We're the first ones to use it in a while.
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Right. And this is the most expensive floor in the hotel?
It is most private place.
Most private floor.
Our
What floor is it, by the way?
21st.
21st. Ah, okay.
Yeah, we went to the presidential suite, which is on the 22nd floor, and it was amazing, but we couldn't move the furniture around to make it work for us, so it was a shame because it's
quite lavish place,
absolutely amazing.
Right.
All right, good. Why don't we start with some of the questions that you'd planned?
Right. I mean, let's go through a bit of your history first. Maybe from the beginning, I guess. You went into the hotel industry in the 1990, right?
1990, yes.
And you actually studied hospitality in the university?
No.
No?
I studied geography.
Geography?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. Actually, 2 days ago, I was traveling, and I'm next to my seat in the flight. I met with a professor from Guangzhou University. He's a professor doctor from geography. So it was quite coincidence. I studied geography.
Wow.
And I did my master's degree with geomorphology, physical geography. And then I decided to move to the hospitality. And
Why?
then I went up because I'm more social person.
Okay.
I'm not a person to give the lecture too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then copy paste things, it doesn't work for me. So I love to move on. I said, maybe I made a mistake to be lecturing person. And I study back to the university, tourism business administration.
Okay.
I made another master degree, and then I moved to the hospitality. But even I did master degree, I start from the stewarding department.
So you
washing
really?
the dish, yes.
Oh.
Washing the dish
you studied in Turkey?
in Turkey,
Istanbul?
Istanbul.
Okay.
Istanbul.
I see. And then so then you did 2 years business administration, and then you graduated from that.
And then I study after the graduation, I entered the hotel with a very basic position. And I work in stewarding department, then I work in the kitchen, then I work to the service, and then I start to grow up in the service, then I come managers, and then I work in the sales. Later on, I become operation director, then I move upper level, then I start to work in the front office and rooms department. So basically, except finance and every department in the hotel industry, I worked.
We spoke before, right? And I met, in nature of my job, I met a lot of GMs over the years, a lot. And it seems a lot of them been through many of the departments, right? I guess that's what makes you a GM and a good GM. But so you entered this world in 1990, and did you know right away, okay, this is cool, this is for me? And,
yes.
And you targeted being all the way to the top?
You know, I was in 1991, like almost 6 months after I start the job, I made a decision. I'm 40 years, I'm going to be GM. So it was 41, I was GM.
41, you were GM.
Yeah. So I love this job. If I born again, I will be the hotelier again. So it's really, I don't like this job. I love this job. Because this job, if you don't love, you cannot do it. Really.
Why? I've heard so many people talk about how demanding this job is, how difficult it is, how much passion you have to have for it. What are some of those sacrifices that you have to make on a day-to-day basis?
The most important sacrifices you have to do it. You don't have your private time too much. If you're a family person, it's very difficult. Yes, we all family person. We all love but family person, like you have to go to the home 6 o'clock, you have to eat the dinner with the family, or every Saturday, Sunday, you have to have a kids time, or that's kind of impossible.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work.
Why doesn't it? I mean, what is it that, like, there is so much to do, or?
Because hotel, when you turn on the key in the hotel 24/7, it's working. Always something happening in the hotel.
There's no downtime.
And then you are representing the brand, and I'm talking about GM position.
Right.
You're representing the brand, you're representing the culture, so you have to be always there when you need it. You cannot just divert your responsibility to someone to represent the brand. It doesn't work because people want to see you.
Right.
So that's why the Saturday someone comes, you have to be here, and Sunday someone goes, you have to be here.
That's what's expected. Because even in a regular job, I mean, okay, there is a manager, but he has other people doing the job. He can go home, right? But I mean, it's expected
when you
differently.
come to the top level, you have to be there because you're putting your stamp on it. When people comes to Wanda Vista Dongguan, previously there were a couple of GM. And then they're still talking about these GMs,
right.
Good GM. They put their own stamp. You go my previous hotels, for example, Cairo. You go Cairo. Still when you go to the Cairo, my previous hotel, people said, "Well, the Fuat was here." So somehow you're putting your stamp there, and that's what people expect in this one. And that is also what we love, because we want to be together with the people. If you don't love this job, then you cannot handle this.
It's interesting. It kind of became the standard, I guess, what you're saying.
Is it something that you could put into words, this stamp? For example, if somebody were to ask you, what is your stamp? What?
Your lifestyle comes to the hotel style. If you are open mind, hotel becoming open mind. If you are introvert, hotel going to be introvert. Your lifestyle becoming the hotel lifestyle. That's why you put in your
I agree. I mean, from what I've seen over the years, in the last 15 years, at least in Dongguan, I've seen that. I still talk about, Adnan, that was the GM here. And I remember some GMs from other hotels in Dongguan. But what I want to ask is, I've noticed many times that Chinese GMs are not the same in some way, okay? Not all of them, I'm sure. But pretty much every foreign GM that I met in here tries at least to be in that standard you're talking about, right? And I've met some Chinese GM, and they might be successful. I'm not saying they're not, but they're not as personable. They may be like more close, like not every GM, at least in China, is like that. You think you can be a good GM also without being that people person, or it's really, really important?
It is important. I mean, if you're really going to be GM for international platform, you have to do what I am doing. But if you're going to be the localized GM, and then it's your culture-driven person, it's going to be happen. You say Chinese GM, it's more related with the culture. Chinese GM also working very hard. You know, I'm working with Chinese company. Wanda is we are national company in China, and we have a lot of colleagues is working in the company as a GM position Chinese, and they're really working very hard. And they work as I work hard, and they work as long as I working here.
I'm sure they are, but I mean, you know, there is maybe it's a foreign thing and Chinese thing. We know we've been in China, you know, and again, it's not like right, wrong, good, bad, but you know, they're more closed. Maybe they're less friendly sometimes.
Sometimes the language issue.
Yeah.
You know, they're not very confident to talk to language. They're all speaking, but they're not very confident. And that's number one issue. The second issue is a more cultural issue, you know, and then we are more, you know, I work already 4 continents. I had a lot of different cultures. So I love to meet with the different cultures. But if you are a really local person, no matter which country you are, you know, you go to American, you go to the Texas, they never gone outside. You look like you come aliens.
Right.
So it's same thing, you know. I mean, there's every culture you have in local traditional introvert reaction.
Right.
So the Chinese also the same.
Right.
You know, although they do hotel business, but if they're not really too much going outside, they didn't express themselves outside, they feel a little bit uncomfortable to talk with the foreigner maybe.
You mentioned language, and my first paid job was in a hotel, front desk, night shift, because I speak several languages. How does it work for somebody to come to China without speaking Chinese? Did you speak Chinese before you came here?
I don't speak Chinese still.
Yeah. But so it's one of those very peculiar jobs where you can perform your job at this level using only English.
I tell you something. You know, this is my understanding from the communication. Maybe people has different understanding. If you really want to communicate someone, no need to speak the same language. People, they live in the same home. They talk same language, but they cannot communicate.
True.
You know, if you want to communicate with someone, no need to speak language.
So it's the desire, not
you know, for me, if I see some Chinese people, I don't speak the Chinese and they don't speak English, I 100% guarantee you I can communicate with them. No problem.
Right. It's other skills too, body language and...
Yeah. If I have language, that would be the very big plus.
Yeah.
I wish I can speak Chinese language very well, Cantonese and Mandarin, but I don't. I understand a little bit, but I don't speak. Thank God I have my...
Did you try? Did you learn some?
I tried a couple of times, and when I was in Beijing, I was quite good. I become to level to speaking with the taxi driver and this and that, but I'm here like 1.5 years. Then Cantonese and Mandarin is really makes my mind completely confused, and I start to be confusing. I said, "Oh, I don't want to say something really wrong," and then I don't want to offend the people. So I decided to keep quiet and get help. So thank God I have very good people around me. They're helping me to communicate people, but that is not a really matter. If you're willing to do something, you can do it.
But like people working in hotel all over the world, I guess English is the main language, a very important language in hotels all over the world. Yeah. How much percent of your staff here speak English?
Front people, probably 60%. They speak in English. We make sure every working period we have enough people on the floor that can communicate with the people. And we also management team, we have certain style. We don't like office too much. And although we have a lot of paperwork, but thank God the technology helping us to, we can read the email by the phone and this. So we want to be on the floor to engage the people. And mostly in this hotel, for example, we have 50% foreigner customer. The normal period is 50%. So this customer profile I didn't have in Beijing.
Right.
Here, 50%.
In Beijing, which you worked for?
Beijing Realm.
And the Realm,
Wanda
Realm.
Yes.
Which is higher or lower?
It's one lower. One lower level from the Vista is a Realm. But the location was in the west part of the Beijing. And then the foreigner customer, it was like 10%.
Okay.
When you speak of one higher, one lower, could you explain to us what does that mean? I mean, there's different brands.
It's like a brand has a certain level goes to the certain market, not because every market can pay same level. So you want to have your market a little wider. So you have different levels of the hotels, and then we have certain different. We have a three major brand, and Rain, Realm, and Vista, and then we have also two budget hotels, and then Moment and Jean, and then Dongguan gonna get another Wanda, no Moment in the 33 town.
The higher?
No, lower one.
The budget one.
Budget one. But it's going to be very good lifestyle hotel.
33 town.
In 33
okay.
town. Then it's going to be nice. So soon going to be open.
Wow.
We working on
a
it.
scoop. I didn't know that.
What is it like to open a new hotel in 2020?
No, it's not going to be open 2020, I guess. It's going to be like 2021 or they didn't define yet the timing, but we're working on it. So it's
actually, it's a good question, right? So the recent times, the last few months were very interesting in the world, and I think the hotel industry is one of the industries that got the biggest hits.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of hotels closed, shut down.
Well, periodically they shut down. Some of them completely shut down.
Right.
Actually, travel industry also get big hit, especially the flight industry.
Right.
They get.
Yes.
I think this kind of global crisis the world didn't experience since Second World War. The globally, partially yes.
I can't think of anything. Yes.
I think the Second
of this
World War.
magnitude? No.
Yeah.
Nothing of this magnitude.
I think Second World War it was the last one. So I call this one is like a Third World War. The effect, and thank God that didn't kill that much people, but effect, economically effect, and then the lifestyle stopped. All these things, I think this is the like Third World War effect happened, and hotels get really big hit. We are a little bit lucky compared with the other countries because China internal dynamics is much bigger than other countries. So still the China's internal dynamics helping to the hotels to survive better.
How does it help you?
Well, internal,
It's still
domestic business moving
so
around.
You get domestic business.
Yeah,
but those 50% foreigners from before that you.
That's gone. They're gone. So we have average occupancy like 40%.
Right, but still can survive, right? That's
survive.
what you mean.
Yes,
if
of
you had
course.
100% foreign occupancy, you would be in bigger trouble.
You're gonna be dying. But
Yes.
we never had this. We could have more foreigner, and the period, but we always thinking, we don't want to put two eggs in the same basket. So we have to have several different segmentation, and then if something not working, the others also can support you. Therefore, still big loss. It's especially Dongguan is a industrial city. Dongguan is not a leisure city. So when you look at a little deeper to Dongguan, and those period, all these leisure cities is fully occupied. You can see the west part of China, Shuchanbana, Dongguan, Kunming, Yinchuan, and those areas, Chengdu, Shanghai, they're all high occupancy. Even Shenzhen start to do the over 80% occupancy now. But Dongguan is a totally industrial city, and unfortunately they don't have too much scene around. History is very limited, but its industrial power so big.
There's no tourism, you mean? There's no tourism.
Tourism is very, very dull.
Yeah.
So we're waiting. We're surviving. Internal tourism still helping, but to reach the certain level, this economy, and then doors should be open, and then people need to be traveled from the Europe to here.
How bad is the impact? I know in China and really all over the world, right? You worked in other hotels around the world in different continents. A lot of people in the industry, I'm sure, thousands probably. How bad is it?
Compare with the 2000 budget, roughly like 40% will be write-off. So if you make budget 100 million, you're going to lose 40 million.
But around the world, like other places, other hotels, not just Wanda, how you think some hotels will not survive? Just
a lot of hotels will not survive.
Because I saw you
a lot of hotels gonna change the owner. A lot of hotels gonna change the management company. A lot of hotels not going to be hotel anymore, maybe going to be office tower
Right.
and this kind of stuff. So it's a big brand gets hits. And of course, with this kind of impact also, the countries become more local, more internal. So a lot of international company will not be survive maybe the other market. Maybe local companies, they're gonna be more
Reliant.
more good position in the market. International brands maybe gonna get more hit because every government will start to protect their own companies, the local companies. I think this crisis will be a little bit pause to the globalization. It's gonna be affect little bit. Everybody will return their own resources little bit.
Yeah, you see a lot of that just talking about PPE and how outsourcing so much manufacturing
And that will
is
change.
counterproductive,
Yes.
right? So a lot of countries are thinking, well, we should bring some of that.
Right.
And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I don't think a lot of people discuss that.
Right.
I wanted to ask you on a day-to-day basis, when I think of a hotel, I think, well, it's one of the cleanest places you could probably think of, right?
Should be.
But should be. But in terms of, well, now having a pandemic, how have things changed? I mean, what is the cost of meeting all those new requirements, for example? What are the different steps that you need to take to make a room?
So first of all, I really want to say thank you to Chinese government, because starting the early January, we start to get the warning. We were following the Wuhan what happened, and then the Chinese government, local government in Dongguan, and also other cities, local governments, because I know from my friends, we all get the quick information. We have to take certain precautions quickly. So those are really very quick information we receive from the government. And then they already start to telling us to certain areas has to be controlled, check-up points to build in the hotels. Because, China, the hotels and the shopping mall, they don't have checkpoints.
Yes.
So many countries, and
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
you
enter my home, you enter the shopping mall, look like
Check your bag,
you enter in the airport.
Same in Colombia. I think we have that in Colombia.
we have
very common thing,
Americans would not understand that.
It's very free, but now they had to build for checkpoints. They have to build a measurement system, and that's number one into entering point, and then scanning the codes, and then the technology also interfere quickly to the daily life. People scan the code, you can get the green code and this head code.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. In China, so it was so much advanced to put the whole thing.
And so quick.
It's quick and advanced. It was ready. It wasn't ready, you wouldn't do it. So it was ready somehow. That's why the other countries, they really suffer to how to, they have 20 million, 25 million population. They don't know how to control the 1.4 billion people we're talking about it.
The tracing technology is just...
Yeah, that's time like a nuclear atom, and then works with the good thing.
Yeah.
Right. Using
something really technology, technology can be bad, but they use really technology, good
In
things.
my country, they started to do this, but everybody complained like that it's that it's it's not privacy and all of that, and so but yeah, I mean, we feel it here. I think it was very quick, and nobody complains. No, I don't complain. I mean, it makes sense.
I think it's a cultural thing. Like back in the day, I don't know, 10 years ago, you would ask anybody, and everybody had a QQ number. It was almost like your ID is your QQ number, and now it's WeChat. Like, if you don't have WeChat, you don't exist, pretty much.
Right.
So they use that platform to do this tracing. And I wanted to move on to another question, because a lot of people in the past, when the situation was a lot more complicated, talked about trouble for foreigners going into certain hotels and things like that. What was the guideline?
No, we didn't.
This year.
This year during the COVID period. No, we didn't have trouble.
I think some hotels still like that.
No,
I've heard.
Maybe I don't know.
Not
but
international brands.
The government never tell us don't take the foreigner.
Right.
All right, that's number one. Number two, if people maybe misunderstanding certain rules and regulation, and then they really behave a little bit overreact. No, there's a very clear policy. First, and that period, even foreigner, if they represent their health code, and then they scan it, and then we put on the normal system. Every single people needs to be registered in the hotel, and then when we register them, and then CDC immediately came, and then they asked the court, and they asked us to represent these people health check, and everything is okay. Then it's okay. So the most important thing, some government people came to the hotel and then physically to see the people, are they healthy or not. So they didn't miss anyone. So this is not only happening in Dongguan; it happened whole China.
I think a lot of this is like not like you said, not the government. The government never tell anybody to do. But I think people overreact.
Yeah.
Like what still happens, less and less, I guess. But I mean, I know recently some people. You go to a place, whether it's I don't know, whatever, a store, shopping mall, hotel, and the Chinese people can go in without showing anything, but the foreigner is like.
We're talking. This is August.
Yes.
We're talking August 2020.
Just recently, someone I know, I went to a place and the Chinese friends, they all go in and the foreigner stop and check everything. They didn't stop the foreigner from going. But I think it's still kind of unreasonable overreaction, fear, even though we can go into another country.
I think this is kind of little bit the self-defense, because I remember in January, all over the world was looking to China, looked like an enemy of the world. Right. How could you eat this one? How could you get the trouble, this one, and this one, that one, this one? So, the Chinese in the other countries, they get the same treatment. Sorry, we need to remember this. People really forgetting so quickly.
Right.
And then, now, all over the world fighting with the crisis, they didn't react that quickly like Chinese government react. They were so much setback. In January, February, China was fighting with this, and they still didn't take any precaution. And then now they're all fighting with the virus. China is safe now, and we're talking about big population. People scared be sick again. That's normal reaction. And I'm foreigner too. When I go, I put my mask on it.
Me too.
I don't want to offend the people. In my hotel even, I carry my mask on my pocket.
Yeah.
If I go to the elevator, I put it.
Right.
I'm living in Dongguan. I've never been outside Dongguan. I'm more Dongguan people than any other people because they were outside. Right. They came after the Chinese New Year. I was still be here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I cannot tell people don't be offended because they get big trauma.
Right.
That's normal reaction. And then we're living here, and I think we should understand the local people as well.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sick again. They don't want to have the same accusation again.
Right.
So, but this is normal. Any country you go, it's going to be the same.
Did you have any foreigners cannot enter China since March 28th, right? And before March 28th, I guess the couple of months was even worse for you in the hotel, right? But you were always open. I mean,
always open.
You
always open.
You didn't shut down for any time.
We didn't shut down.
And I'm sure as you have usually 50% occupancy by foreigners, everybody asks when will foreigners come? Can they come?
They're all texting me. They're all my colleagues. My customers. So many of them is my friend. When is gonna be open the door? They're going to the check-in and they're checking us. How is the life? How is everything? They're also worried for us. We are worried for them.
Do you have any idea? Any guess?
Well,
when open it?
When they're gonna find the vaccination, I think that's gonna be the definite answer. The vaccination before, if it is no vaccination, it's gonna be limited.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to take a very short break, and we continue talking about hotel management in Dongguan. All right, and we are back. I just realized that we started talking about some of the procedures that the government had to help you with and other hotels in terms of managing the pandemic. But we skipped a little bit the question in which I wanted to know about the procedures and the different steps and requirements that what we're presenting to you as a challenge in face of this pandemic. So if you could elaborate a little bit on this topic, I would really appreciate it.
Maybe it caused more expenses even.
Yeah.
It didn't cost too much, but the procedures get more enhanced. The hotel entrance get controlled, and then temperature control, and then ID control, and then name control, health QR code control, and then. But with our operation, especially the room cleaning and hygiene, and then F&B stewarding department controls, those are the systems completely be revised. And for example, our maids on the floor, they completely wear the different clothes and then different mask and gloves and then hands. They didn't touch any customer belongings with the hands, and completely different procedures we added. And then the linen collecting system is changed, and even our AC system get repaired, and then not repaired, but the working system change. We get more natural air in. Thank God that was not very hot time. So
was this directly advised by the government,
yes,
or the company also?
Well, we were thinking on this part, but of course we didn't get that much experiences before, because government immediately issued handbook how to should be operated, and then of course this handbook has been designed not only by government. A lot of doctors, a lot of universities is advising these issues, this handbook. And then we get this handbook. Also, we as a company, we had our own expertise as well, and then we combine all these precautions to work together. And then that hotel wasn't very occupied, and what we did it we keep one floor open, one floor closed, one floor open, one floor closed. So we put some distance between the floors even we close one room, we open other room. So we put the same floor at a distance with the rooms.
This was required.
No,
all of it?
No, this one we did it.
Okay, you wanted to take more.
We just more edit because we have enough rooms anyway. So with less occupancy, we didn't put everybody in the same floor to increase the risk. We distribute the people in the.
Did that include elevator management, like this?
Elevator management. No, elevator. We didn't close the elevator, but what we did we did the elevator hygiene procedure enhanced. So we put some cleaning schedules in the elevator every half an hour. We had the permanent people to clean the elevator with the hygienic gels. Those were all the new things we added in that period.
You talk to hotel friends around the world. You think anyone doing something like that or did something like that?
Everybody did it.
Around the world?
On China.
No, I'm asking around the world. What do you think?
I think they learn from China.
So some of them maybe picked it up.
Yeah, they learn. I know that a lot of international companies, they get advice from China and then they apply same thing in their own countries. I think China also was the pilot country for fight with the COVID. But some of them act early, like Korea, like there's Vietnam or those countries.
Maybe some European countries, Germany maybe.
Maybe Germany. They act very quickly and use the Chinese experiences and then try to avoid getting bigger. Some of them was really setback, and they were really thinking too much and calculating too much, and they lost a lot of time. And but all these precautions help us. And those periods, we didn't have anybody sick in the hotel, none of the employee, and also we did it was Chinese New Year period, so a lot of employee wasn't in the Dongguan, so we told them don't come back, stay at home, don't come back, and we managed the hotel. Whoever in the Dongguan, so those people was permanently, continuously working in the hotel, and the other people was sitting at home. And even those periods, which is January, February, and March. January was normal, but February, March, we pay full salary to them when they are sitting at home.
Right.
So we did not lay off any people.
Any of these procedures still going on, required, or?
No, now is a normal period. Now is a normal period, but hygiene is still continuing.
I mean, you still check temperature at the door.
Yeah, we
and
still
all
check
this.
temperature. We still check the QR code when the people come to check
But
in.
some of the other things maybe not needed
Hygiene
anymore.
still continue. Hygiene still continue. We are cleaning procedures still continue. We even have the personal camera in our mates, and when they enter the room, they have to click on the camera. We have to monitor how they are cleaning the room. So we are
like body camera.
like a police. They have the body camera, and we have to see how they're cleaning the room. And then
Because of
online, I can click in any mate. I can see how they clean the room.
Wow. This is because of the pandemic.
Well,
But it's actually good for many things. To know they clean the room.
No, this camera. It came before pandemic.
Okay.
There was some kind of incidents happening in the hotel industry.
Okay.
Some room cleaning, hygiene things, everything. And then we, as a company, Wanda has to make a decision to make sure we get zero tolerance on this mistake. So we had this issue. If the rooms is occupied, if the customer inside, we don't turn on the camera.
Okay.
And if the customer leave the room, we have to turn on. So that's why when I look at this camera, is the camera not on? Then I immediately call the person in charge from this area. I ask why this camera not on, and then they say customer inside, and it's okay.
Right.
So we are in quite strict on that area.
We wanted to know more about, you're working for Wanda Vista now, before Wanda Realm. Wanda is a company, I think it's one of the most famous Chinese companies in the world.
It's pretty large.
But yeah. I mean, it's what is it? It's the second, third. Maybe nowadays the IT companies like Tencent and at one point the owner, the chairman, Wang
Jinling.
Yeah, he was the richest man for a short time, I think, at least in China.
He's
probably still top 3 or whatever.
He's a very entrepreneur, very smart businessman. I think he built Wanda.
Was it Dalian? Is it
from Dalian?
Is it the battery company in the beginning or something like that?
No, he's real estate company.
Real estate company.
Real estate company, and then he built the real estates, and then he turns to building the shopping malls. Actually, what he's doing, he is really creating living environment together with the shopping malls and then residents, and those models is I can see in Dubai has the same models, and then but he used this model and quick executions, and then bring the benefits to the owners, because you invest money and short period is going to be high return. And then also this for the city is creating another center, because when you look at the Wanda, each time Wanda can create a new centers. And I don't know Dongguan history, but I want to know if the Dongchang before the Wanda, it was the center or not.
It was in some, but I know what you mean though, because Wanda Mall comes to and it will create
some vibe around this area.
Community.
So every city like that.
Yeah, there are.
So it's
100 malls in China, or
over 250.
Over 250 malls, and each one is it's a mall. It's a big mall.
Yeah,
right?
it's
like
one of the
malls.
one of the biggest shopping mall owner on the world, and those models. And now, of course, they are also innovating, and Wanda also going to the different industry. So Wanda is not only shopping mall and real estate company now. It's actually more turning to the brand to service industry. Now going to the health sector. Going to be open the private hospital in Sichuan, and one of them in Guangzhou also. It's going to be 2 big hospitals. It's going to happen, and beside that, also we have movie sector. Is very vibrant, and has some big movie producer in Hollywood. It belongs to Wanda.
And Wanda owns AMC now, I think. AMC,
It
the
is.
American
It is.
theater company.
Mm.
And probably other companies too.
And they also own Iron Man.
Owns Iron
Yeah,
Man.
it's a sports industry with the in-front company. Wanda has, because sports is an industry. and then when Wanda entered the sports industry, in America, sports industry it is like 500 billion dollars revenue yearly. In China is only $50 billion. So the gap is too big. And then that's why the Wanda entered this industry, and you can see every big international competition, Wanda tried to be on the front seat, and then tried to be represent a certain area. And because of we have a sports company, also we are organizing this event. So we are not only the advertising Wanda, we are also organizing committee. FIBA like this. Basketball competition, it happened in China. The Wanda was one of the main sponsor in the organizing the event. And therefore, sports industry, it's gonna be also more Wanda gonna be more active on this area.
And you also Wanda Hotels are building hotels in other countries?
We have plan. We have in Istanbul.
Okay.
And then we have US project.
Okay.
But because of these things is happening on the world, it's a little bit postponed. But it's gonna be more project gonna come, especially in the Asian area. It's gonna be a few more projects gonna come.
You mentioned something in the preparation that stuck in my head that was very interesting. Is that when people think of Wanda, when people see an advertisement, a banner of Wanda during the World Cup, people don't really associate Wanda with a particular product.
Yeah.
But they're there. Yeah. They're on the world stage, advertising, showing their brand. What is the purpose of doing this?
Well, first of all, Wanda want to build a brand. Brand you need a lot of things to have the brand. One of the things, you have to be known. You have to be recognized. Mm-hmm. Therefore, Wanda goes to the international arena with the sports. And then now it goes to the entertainment, and so many movies you can see, and the middle of the movie, some area, and then when the script, the names running, and you can see the Wanda movies there. So it's slowly, surely, Wanda goes with international platform and a more global name and global brand.
But you also say that it's like an ambassador for China.
Well, in
some way,
any Chinese brand,
right.
when you go international platform, it's even the water companies and then other products goes like that. Wanda also has this mission. Wanda is one of the biggest company in China, so that's why everything what Wanda doing, it's not only owner
on
interest.
Behalf of Wanda. Yeah.
It's not only interest. Also, Wanda represent China. That's very normal, and China being one of the Chinese company, and also Wanda being international platform representing the China.
There's a lot of accusations out there always that if you're a big company, you're tied to the Chinese government, and that's a cause for concern for a lot of people.
Right.
You see that with Huawei. You cooperate with the government, whatever. Are there any negatives to this kind of approach to doing business?
Not that we know, because on that level, maybe owner, the chairman maybe has some concern. Any businessman has same issue with their own government. It should be, but when I know as we are as a national company, we really strictly follow the government rules and regulations. That makes us healthy growth in the China soil. So that's why the Wanda is becoming very solid company. Rules and regulation covers every businessman, every people, and then those are the stuff. It's more delegate to really identify sometime. But we as a work, like I'm running Wanda Hotel and Resort, and local company, local government never come on you, ask some certain things. Never.
I think any company that want to be this big or is this big in any country has to be very close with the government. I mean,
But
to be big, whichever country you are, and to keep, to manage your risks as being big, you have to work in some way in good relations with the government, don't you think? I mean,
you are using the local resources.
Sure. And last week you saw, for example, in the Senate, all these social
and
media.
you would work to get your benefits, what you can get, right, to grow as a company. I mean, after all, this is, maybe it's China, but it's capitalism in a way, right? It's not in a big way, It's open market, China, I think, no? And Wanda is totally private, or how?
Totally
it's
private.
Totally private.
Totally
right.
private.
Okay. So it's not at all state-owned.
No.
Yeah.
No, not state-owned. But
is it traded? Is it traded in the stock
Is it
market?
Stock
public?
market, yes.
Public. Okay.
Yeah. Some area.
Some.
Because
okay.
so many different
Internationally, in
inter-
New York? Or
No, it's in the
Shenzhen
Shanghai.
or
Shanghai only. Okay.
So is it I say to some people in the past that in some years, or maybe with some GMs, I felt that sometimes in Chinese hotels in China, they put the GM to be a foreigner, just because it's okay. We have a foreigner at the top, and there's not a foreigner in the hotel, right? Hopefully, maybe that foreigner can trickle down the service or what coming from his experience from outside. But you're working for a Chinese hotel company, and how is it? First of all, I guess not all Wanda hotels have foreign GM, right?
Yeah, now it's less.
Less now.
When
It
I
used to be
entered
more.
the Wanda 6 years ago, it was like almost 35 foreigner working with Wanda.
Okay.
Now I think it's 18 or.
So what is it? It's the Chinese GMs better. They learn and then
No, it's totally different experience. It is, like
Depends on the
Dongguan,
area.
Dongguan, you have 50% foreigner, so you need someone to communicate with customer in their native language and in their native culture. But if I was in Guyang as well, and I was the only foreigner GM there.
Now
Is
they
it
probably
is
have a
it is
Chinese
it
GM.
necessary? No, this company still using the foreigner GM there.
Okay.
But certain area you definitely don't need the foreigner GM, because foreigner GM is we have different expenses compared with the local. If you go to the Turkey in my country, the local GM also have a different expenses than the international foreigner GM.
Right.
In any other country like this, expat has different expenses than local person. So it's not different in China too. But the certain location, definitely you are really needed some international look person to handle the level of the service, level of the product, level of the communication, and that level to make sure you have continuity grow in the business. So it's not only for the face issue, it's also business purposes behind that. Not just for the vitrine, you don't put the person on the vitrine that's smiling their face, good suite, and representing the hotel. And that's, you can do 2 days and it's
And
third
you
day.
said there are 18 now. How many hotels Wanda has in China?
At the moment, 72 hotels.
72 hotels. Okay. And so, do you feel like any of the other GMs? Basically, the GMs are, in Wanda, you have the GM meetings and everything, and all the GMs are treated more or less the same, and at the level.
It's all same.
Yeah.
All same. Wanda, one rules. Actually, not in Wanda. I think any Chinese company like that. That's the difference. I was expecting you asked what's the difference between working for international company and Chinese
Right, I will
company.
ask
Let
that,
me give you the answer this one
Okay.
before you ask me question. I learn a lot to working with Chinese company. I tell you. And then the European company, I worked 24 years. Yes, we do the business, but when you talk about the business in European company, you talk more people. You talk more product. You talk more procedures. You're entering the things. You talk about more, the way you go to the success, and then you talk about this area more. In China, in Chinese, you talk about the execution. You talk about the result. You need to bring the result.
It's
Strict.
merit.
It's maybe you can say merit, but in Chinese way, I think it's more direct and more strict. That number one. Number two, because of, I think, the Chinese culture. Chinese culture is very clear and reward and punishment system. So everywhere. Very clearly and very openly, reward and punishment system is very open. And both of them is motivating to go to the result quickly. Right? This is kind of, I think, education system from the families, grow up on the whole areas, the same system using. And European company, you don't use it like this. You know, people comes, you know, you do fail or you do something, you know, that they send you someone to talk and then try to find the procedures and then Chinese system not like
so which
this.
one do you prefer?
I like this one.
And so you had to change your management style?
Yes.
The methods?
Yes.
And you like it?
I you know, not 100% changing,
Right.
but I start to blend it and adapting the new system, and then see how I can manage not be changing myself 100% because then I'm not going to be happy.
Right.
But then I can see the good part of the new system. So how can I adapt myself?
Right.
So then I think it's
and it's working for you.
It's working.
Yeah.
I'm
And
still
one day,
here.
if you do go back and manage an hotel
In Middle
Europe or
East and
wherever,
Europe,
yeah. How would that work?
for me no
Would you get
problem.
frustrated?
For me no problem.
Right.
But the people working for me, then it's gonna be issue. I
confident
tell
you
you.
You're going to bring
results.
a different stamp.
But that would be a problem too, right? Could cause problems, right?
No,
if the people
I
don't
think,
adapt.
and
under
I
you.
think, you know, given the fact, because now I'm not at 30 years old, you know, and they have a lot of experiences, so I can distinguish between two systems
Right.
and the different peoples. Even my team here, I can distinguish different people. You cannot make the same management style to everybody.
Right. No, you're still who you are. I'm sure. You know.
And then
like-
same thing, you know, when I go to other places, then I can motivate the people to get the more
Right.
result.
Right.
I can be, maybe they can have a different management system before coming to China. Even they can test it. This one, it's gonna be good test drive actually.
How do you
I should
think?
go.
How do you think your team takes it? Like you are, like I said, I kind of said it before, right? I think a GM, a Chinese GM, a foreign GM is many times it's different. And again, not bad or good, but you know, the culture they come from is different. And like, you know, I remember one thing in particular with you, right? Like a couple of years ago, my editor broke her foot, and Jody, my editor, she broke her foot and she went to the hospital, and I think she got flowers from you like the next day. And I think
No,
you
I went
You
to visit
there.
her. Yeah,
Right, you
I
went to visit her in the
yeah.
hospital. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, she interviewed you a couple months before maybe, and I was like, wow, okay. And how does what do your employee thinks of, like, you're very personable, right? And I'm sure if you did this with our editor, like, how do you?
I did to other I did other my employee too.
Right.
You know, look, you know, our material is a human. You know, in the hotel industry, our raw material is a human. So customer human, employee human, supplier human, boss is human, everybody, you know, our raw material is a human. That's why if you really love your job, you need to love the human. And then you need to really treat them as a respected way. That's this number one rules. That's why the Wanda has a core value of respect.
And this is also,
And that's why my respect to your colleague over there, and I do same respect to my employee when they have hospitalized something. So I was the first one to go to hospital to show my face to say, "How are you? Everything okay?" So that's things.
and the way I
show
see
in.
you, I know you a couple of years, and the way I see you with your team, it's quite remarkable. Maybe you could tell me more a little bit about how do you empower the team that you have here, and how is it different than your teams in other hotels in other countries? I don't know, because you need to adapt to that too, the people from different cultures.
It is different. They have plus and minuses. But how do I do to empower them? I try to make it everything more clear and smaller. And I don't give full responsibility to one person here. They are quite it is quite challenging for them to get the full responsibility quickly. And I think this is kind of an educational system, and they want to get step by step to responsibility. They're not eager to get quickly everything to responsibility like Western young kids. They want to get everything.
Right.
I want to have everything. I want to be GM tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not like this. They know their own limit. So that's why my expectation getting lower.
Yeah.
You know, and I start to divide it a certain responsibility to them, and I start to be next to them, not behind them, not front of them. I try to be next to them, and when they walk, and I monitor them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they gonna go a certain area, I let them to make a mistake. But before I told them the mistake, I go correct. Because, you know, China is a cultural way. Nobody want to hear in China they made a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that's culture.
Right.
And I don't want to push this red button.
So you adapt to that.
For
You
me,
have to.
it's I'm not going to win anything to tell the people you made a mistake. I'm not going to
Right.
win anything.
Right. It's very interesting. I think we need to take a break, a quick
Sure.
break, and we will continue talking in a moment. And we are back with Fuat here at the Wanda Vista Dongguan. So we started talking about cultural differences, right? China and other countries. I want to ask you something that we discussed a bit a couple of weeks ago. And you worked in the Middle East, right? You worked in
Cairo, Dubai,
right? A lot of rich people there.
different people.
Different. So I wanted to ask you about the rich people and the differences, right? You here it's a luxury hotel.
You know, Ziv, I don't look to hotel only for the customer purposes.
Right.
I look to employee purposes too.
Right.
When I work in Dubai, 52 different nationality was working
Okay.
with me. Think about the staff canteen.
Two different nationalities.
Think about staff canteen. 52 different nationalities. You need to satisfy their food culture. You know, look at these challenges.
Yeah.
Living style, and you have to give the dormitory, you have to look at their passport, you have to transfer them, you have to look at, you know, human resources job in Dubai is really, you cannot compare with any other country. Look at this kind of experience, you know, you don't see this is behind the screen, you don't see this kind of works is going to happening. Yes, also it's very diversified by the customer profile. You have a rich people, you have a different nationality, leisure area, business area. And you know the GCC people, the Arab people comes in every certain areas. Russians very famous there. So this Dubai was really very cosmopolitan city, very modern city, and very developed, fast developing city was that time. But as for me, is the most learning process in Dubai was how to handle multinational employees. It was really.
Is it similar here where Chinese people are from all different parts of China? Is there culture difference in that?
Not much.
Not really?
No, you
Not too much.
cannot compare. Yeah, food little bit different. Cantonese doesn't have too much spicy. The other
Right.
one, you know, this is but still,
Right.
still everybody talks same language. Everybody understand the same thing.
So how about the differences in guests, right? So you have guests from different places. You have guests from different socioeconomic background. So we know some of the local rich people, right?
Yeah,
I guess you get those clients, right, in the hotel.
we do.
Do you feel differences? Like there is a lot of talk about, you know, in China, a lot of people got rich quick. You know, they call it tuhao maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What does it mean? It means rich farmers or uneducated rich or something like that.
Newly
Bad
rich.
taste, something,
Newly rich,
something
yeah.
like that.
But you know, this is I think this fundamental is not covered only China. It's covered all over the world. You know, our industry is a fundamental. We separate these people 3 different categories. One of them is a culturally rich, naturally rich people. So those people, even when they come to the hotel, they don't want to welcome to look like a very big ceremony and this and that. They come very classy way. They enter the room. They have a privacy. They have their own standard. They want to get the top quality. And then we have a new rich people. They want to get show off. So they want to be everybody needs to feel the people coming inside. So not in China, Russia the same thing, Arabs the same thing, all over the world. There's these people. I am here. I'm the rich. I can buy everything. I can buy your hotel. I can buy you. I can buy everything. So those are the people. And also there are people, third people. They're the one-time buyers. So those people, they only can come to your hotel one time.
Right.
They want to try it, either for special occasion, either they get some bonus. They want to spend this one, and all other people. So those are the major categories we have.
Right.
So apparently, there's all different categories. They want to have a different treatment. They're expecting different treatment. You have to show them the different treatment.
How do you identify them?
Very easy.
Because I think one of
very
those
easy. You know, this is
one-time visitor.
this is very easy. You know, everybody has their own reflection. You know, we are so much seeing this kind of stuff. Like, you know, the doctor, when you go to hospital, doctor looks you, doctor easily can tell you, okay, so you have to sit down here, let me check here, let me check here. They start to guess at least 90%. Maybe it cannot be 100%, but 90%. We also, hotelier, we're standing in the lobby, we're not as statues.
Yeah.
You know, we are monitoring, we are scanning, we are getting a lot of information from the people, the walking around, talking around. Those are the things is giving me the idea of who you are. I'm not saying 100% we are right, but we can get some clue.
But if you're really good at that, you can fit your service to the experience they're looking for.
Of course,
it's not the main thing.
Yeah, you know, that's why you have to then identify your service people, your service techniques according to this area. Right. And then those are the people also, it's look like olive and water. They don't want to mix each other.
This is something.
So you need to make sure they don't meet each other.
This is something you always were like you need to be good at as you start, or you picked it up over the years.
Experience.
Yeah.
I feel naked now because I was saying, like, if we stay in a presidential suite, how do I make the most of this experience?
Yeah.
Some people like to stay in presidential suite. Some people they don't want to stay. They can afford 10 presidential suite, but they don't want to stay. They don't feel comfortable staying in presidential suite. They want to have more less space, more big space. So people has different habits.
Right. So you know, as a general manager of hotels, move a lot, right? You moved a lot in your career.
We are not tree.
So you said once, what was it? I'm not a tree. I cannot stay in one place, right?
Yeah.
Is it something that's how you plan to live your life? You like that? You enjoy that? I mean, to me, it sounds maybe fun for a little while, but then like tiring.
This is the part of my job. You know, the living one place more than 4 years, it's bringing some blindness. So you don't see anymore what you're supposed to see. So that's why you need to change the environment to develop yourself. Think about you if you are tree, you know, and you are in the pot, and you are the small tree, and you start growing. So you need to change the pot. If you don't change the pot, you're not going to grow up. So you need to get a bigger pot and bigger pot and bigger pot, and you're growing. Same thing. So you need to go to the bigger place, bigger hotel, better hotel, different hotel. So that's the hotelier life, actually.
Right. So that means that you don't get in one city for a long time, right? I mean, does it feel like home?
Well, 4 years, I think, quite long time.
Okay.
For my understanding,
for some people.
for my understanding, quite good enough time. 4 years. Usually, the hotelier contract goes 2 years. So 2 terms, you revise your contract. Should be enough, unless you really get very fun and very exciting property. So maybe you can extend 2 more years. But it's not. I don't see very healthy to stay long time in one property. So it's gonna be a lot of setback, a lot of missing the details, and then you need to really get the fresh eye to help you to see the more detailed, more complex things. That's because hotel is living area. It's even your home. You stay in the home like 4 or 5 years, you're getting boring. You want to change the curtain. You want to change the sofa. You want to change this. You want to change. If you don't change, you're still becoming really boring a little bit. And that is the thing. If you stay too long and you don't change, and system going to change you. That's normal.
And even for you, it's less to feel like home, I would say, the city at least, because you work a lot, it's very demanding. You need to be here in the hotel to make sure the guests are happy. And you maybe you get to see less of the outside than people like us.
What do you do when you go outside? We know that you spend a lot of time here, but what are your experiences in the city? What do you normally do?
I think I do more than you guys.
Well, surprise us.
Because I have team, I have my assistants, and then because I have limited time to go outside, I just want to see the most valuable things what is available. You see randomly things. I go selective things.
Yeah.
Probably I go a certain area you never been there.
So what's your experiences in China? Like you were in Beijing and
I've been in many different cities.
What have you done when not working?
And I travel.
Right.
Within China. And I love to, because I'm hotelier, I love to test different food. For culinary experience, for me, very important.
Okay.
And I'm not very much a natural seeing person, because those one I can see from the pictures, but I want to feel.
Okay.
I want to feel. I want to see. You tell me this place has this food, this place has this different thing. You have to test it, or you have to experience it. Then I go.
What's your favorite place that you visited in China?
So many, actually. I like the Yunnan.
Yunnan.
Because of the mushroom. Unbelievable. The mushrooms they have Yunnan, the variety of the mushrooms look like a Swiss and cheese. I look this way. Some people goes by museum, some people goes by other stuff. I go more my industrial thing, my interest.
Right.
This area. And then I like the Yinchuan I love. Because of the lamb. They're the best. And I like the Lanzhou because of noodle.
Lanzhou la mian.
You go there, you test it. I love Xi'an. I love the Xi'an to go to Muslim street to eat this. They do their own style.
Just because you're from the F&B, you did F&B.
I did F&B long time, but I did the sales. I did the other stuff.
But everything. Right.
But I love to try differently, because for me to understand the culture, you need to understand the food.
That's true.
Because of stomach memory, if you don't go to stomach memory, the other memory is not really telling too much things to you.
Right.
About that.
Right. So when you have a day off, what do you do? Like now you're in Dongguan, you're in Beijing, you're in China. What do you do?
Usually, I do. First of all, I check the hotel. Everything, make sure everything
like
okay.
On your phone?
With the colleagues, which is duty people still working in the hotel. I make sure everything on order, and then I took because I'm in Dongguan. Either I go to the Shenzhen and either I go to the Guangzhou once a month at least, because there's two big cities has a much more variety that I can experience something different. And then in Dongguan, I love to play basketball. I play basketball with the Chinese colleagues. Yeah, I play long time basketball actually when I was very young. Yes.
Well, Turkey is pretty good basketball.
Yeah. Young people. My classmates, they're all coach now. They are trainees.
Okay.
I like the sports, and then I love to go to see the couple of different restaurants, and then it's a little bit hot outside now. But try to swim outside. I don't have outdoor pool, but outdoor pool facilities a lot in Dongguan.
I don't see GMs for all the years I've been here mix too much with the expat community. In the regular, let's say, expat community groups, or is that because you just no time for it, or it's like a distant kind of thing? Or why is that? Or maybe it's just
we don't have time.
It's time, yeah.
You guys, you meeting when I'm working.
Right.
The guys, one of the Turkish guys sent me the birthday celebration, and next weekday sometime in 11 o'clock in the in the daytime.
Yeah,
What
and
are you
no way
talking
you can
11
make it.
o'clock?
Huh?
So you just can't do this. You just
You know, I just text a message. I say happy birthday. So, but what am I gonna do? You know, it's you because we're working. We engage so much, but we're not a social person.
Oh, yeah, you're very
we
social.
not a arrogant person also, because you know, here I'm managing here. I'm not the owner. You know, all
just take off
all
and-
luxury cars are driving me. I'm not the owner. It's not mine.
right,
You know,
right. But
I am Fuat, so I don't mind to go to the meet the people. So I don't think any other GM also feeling like that. But still, simply we don't have time. And then all these expat committees, they have more regular time to meet. Regular life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's very difficult to be with them all the time. It's almost impossible, and that is getting some gap to integrate. But I have very good relation with the Chinese community here.
And I guess with some of the guests that keep coming, maybe
The regular
I'm
guests come
guessing
in,
that, yes.
and then I have social key Chinese society persons here. I have more integrated communication with them. And I meet a few foreigners when I go eat in the restaurant. I met
Right.
with them. I keep in contacting with them, but they do a lot of activities. But I'm working.
Right.
But if I don't go, they think I'm arrogant. But it's nothing to
But
do.
actually,
with
I guess my feeling from you is that if someone will come here, yeah, you'll sit with them and have a regular, but their seat will be here maybe when you have time because you're here.
Yeah.
because I'm here. Because I am here as one of my part of the job actually to be communicating with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't do this one as a job.
Right.
But it is part of my duty.
like I say, when last year, October 1st, remember?
Mm.
October 1st, I stayed here. The night the night leading to October 1st, it was the national holiday. And in the morning, I went down. My family, we stayed here. And in the morning, I went downstairs I was still smoking cigarettes, and to smoke a cigarette. And then I see Fuat sitting in the lobby bar. Morning, 9 a.m. I don't remember the time. Sitting, drinking coffee, smoking a cigar, I guess, and watching about to start the parade, the Beijing.
Beijing
you know.
military parade.
And I think we stayed an hour and a half. We sit
We
together.
sit together, we
and
watch
and
together.
talk. Yes, yeah. So that's why I said I think you are. Yeah, it's like if it's here, then it's easier for you. This is like your space. This is like your.
This is where
Yeah.
people come see you.
Yeah.
You want to see me? Come
Yeah.
here.
You know, it's for us. You know, not only for me, for us, it's really very, very difficult to step out from the hotel and then to attend the event and then be look like a regular thing, because all our mindset is still gonna be here,
Right.
and then we keeping receiving the messages, and then the whole thing's happening.
Mhm.
And I wish I can work with the industry, then I can like 6 o'clock close the door and you go to do outside, do whatever you want to do, and at 9 o'clock.
But
in
do
the
you
morning
really
come
wish?
back.
I don't think you wish.
No, I don't want.
No, you
but,
don't want, right.
I don't want.
You've had a very, very long career. I think that this is something that we do sometimes. We ask people what are some of the most memorable experience or the most remarkable experience that they've had in their careers as an hotelier, traveling the world. What are some of those most remarkable or memorable experiences that you had in hotel management?
It is. That's now we are in the sort of crisis moment. So I actually remembering my career in 2010 and 2012. I was in Cairo, in Egypt, and managing the beautiful hotel there. And then this revolution period happened in
Arab Spring.
Yes. Happened in
2011, I guess.
in that period. It was incredible experience for me to be hotel just 200 meters away from the main square of the Cairo, and then million people having their own events, and then country completely locked down, and then every services was frozen, and then I have to manage the hotel without closing, and then very very interesting period, and then different clientele in the hotels. Even this floor by floor, I give the different embassies. They feel safe in the hotel, so they don't run to their embassy building. They come to the hotel, they close the floors, and they start managing their daily job from the hotel. So it was really quite interesting experiences.
Most
So
of the hotels.
governments were not staying at the regular embassies or consulates or whatever. They were staying at the hotel.
The embassies came to hotel. They didn't
I
feel
guess it was not safe in the.
it wasn't safe. They were thinking they're gonna attack, so therefore they came to the hotel, because hotels not getting attacked. They were not targeting
It's commercial.
they were not targeting that time to the hotel, and then naturally in that period, Egypt and my country Turkey has more good relation, and the people know I'm Turkish GM, so that they were really
More safe.
not really coming to my hotel. They were going to the other hotels, get really damaged. My hotel,
So other
didn't
hotels, I
have-
guess a lot of hotels closed.
all of them.
All of them.
2 hotels in Cairo was open,
And you were one of them.
and I was the one of them.
Wow. And 200 meters from the Tahrir Square, where it was crazy.
I tell you, every day, maybe 10 times, we have to switch on and off the AC because of the tear gas. Entering the rooms and people crying in all the rooms because tear gas comes from the ACs.
Wow.
And Cairo is really hot.
Yeah.
And then you have to run the AC. You cannot open the windows.
It
It was really amazing.
How do you? Okay, so all the hotels closed except 2. How do you decide to stay open? How come you didn't close?
I did not feel unsafe. The number one. Number two, somehow when the things start, already I get a lot of demand from the customers. They come to my hotels
And this
because I was a little bit late to close probably.
okay.
And then they choose the other hotels. In other hotels, they say close.
before you.
And then I was open. And then when the
people-
demand come inside, and I wasn't too
I
late
can't
to
close.
close anymore, I was thinking like that because I am not a superhero or I'm not a super power person to fight with a million people. I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm not even Egyptian.
Right.
But I love the Egyptian there.
Mhm.
I love the people there, and the people really love me. I even opened in the crisis period, Cairo Ambassador Cigar Club there.
Mhm. The cigar club. You told me about it.
Yeah, I opened the cigar club during this revolution
You
period.
opened it during the revolution.
During the revolution period, together with the
You established it, or you kept.
no, I established the cigar club in my hotel together with the Cuban ambassador,
Okay, makes sense.
Cuban ambassador, and then some of the very good business
came with the cigars.
businessman. Yes, Egyptian businessman helped us to collect the society, the right society to the club. Cuban ambassador collect the ambassadors, and then I give the space. So 3 of us to build the cigar club. The cigar club still open.
In the hotel.
In Cairo.
Okay.
In Cairo, they went out from the hotel, and then they go different places. But officially, club still there, and then even we get the names as Habanos Ambassador Cigar Club in Cairo without paying anything to Habanos.
And how about the other staff? Everybody was safe. Like, did they stay? Like international staff. I mean, it was quite a crazy time, right?
International staff move out, but I really had a fantastic experience one night. We don't sleep. We don't put the pajama on. We just get normal clothes, lying down, and then walkie-talkie in our hand. Anytime anything happening, and then I received a call. Some big group coming towards the hotel, and then we immediately went down. And in front of the hotel, everything is plywood cupboards. When you look from the outside from the hotel, you can see look like a construction. The hotel, the first floor, second floor, completely covered with the plywood. The quite good big group, like around 500, 600 people come front of the hotel, and they were sitting in front of the door, and then we are just behind the door, and they're outside the door, and me and security team, and we are expecting they're gonna try to break the inside or something like that.
Expecting the wars.
Yeah, because they're talking with loudly, and then we completely silent because our noise can go outside, so they can recognize somebody inside. It's completely dark, and then all the fire hose and waters we on our hand. We're waiting. You know, we don't. Yeah, if something happened, we just put the water, try to put them out. And that moment, it was like 2:00 in the morning. Me and security team, front of the lobby, waiting this. And somehow, like, I don't know how much minutes left. But get a little bit quiet and silent. Then I get relaxed, and when I look at myself, I saw all my hotel team behind there, and they're standing there waiting. So I wasn't alone.
Mm-hmm. And you had a notice up until then, did you?
I didn't give any notice because they're supposed to sleep.
Yeah.
Because 2 floors are also dedicated to employee to sleep, so they cannot go outside. So, but they all wake up, they calm down, and then they were silently waiting behind me, and I tried to protect. So I can see this loyalty in that period. It was very high.
Mm-hmm. Touching.
So it was really quite good experience.
And outside, 200 meters away, there are a million
people.
A million people in the square. Like for how many days or weeks, right?
It was quite almost 1 year.
It's almost 1 year.
Almost 1 year.
Ah, wow. It was. Yeah.
Well, first 60 days, 65 days was very intense.
Right.
There were no communication, no internet.
There's no internet. For how long? For 60 days or for more?
So it's 50 days,
50 days.
55
There's no
days.
internet.
So there's no banking procedures, anything.
Okay.
So
how do you manage your ledger?
Me and financial controller, we know what we do, and then we ask the whole client, all ambassadors, every morning they have to come downstairs to pay cash.
Every morning.
Where did they get the cash from? I mean,
they get cash.
Okay.
They get cash. They have their own way. Egyptian money, no foreign currency.
I didn't accept foreign currency.
That period, no. Only I get the Egyptian money.
Wow.
And then Egyptian pound, and then what we do, and the time to time we call everybody in the office. So we give them the cash money. They sign the receipt, because you cannot pay the salary through the bank. The bank doesn't work.
So you pay them like that.
We pay by the hand. They sign the paper. So at least they can, every week they go home. Mm-hmm. If they have some money, they can go home. They can buy something for their family. Other bunch of people comes, and then because the protesters, they were sleeping very late until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
So at night,
we open the doors, we drive the cars, we go. But that period, Egypt never had food shortage.
How did you get supplies?
I don't know. They never get any shortage about the food and vegetables, fruits, meats. Everything was available in the supermarket. So we just go early morning. We have money. We buy everything. Fill the cars. We come back because we run in the hotel. People want to eat and this and that. So the supply is almost 1 year we handle like that.
So there was no in and out of customers. Everybody was in.
We were using the very side door because in Cairo you don't have basement too much because of the heritage. You don't go to the B1, B2, B3. It doesn't work like this. So maximum B1. We had one door. It's very small door towards to the back side to go with the engineering area. So this was the main door to exit to all the other people. Main door is closed for the plywood, so we don't use this one. All the big chain and everything. So we get some, But at 60 days later, the army came. The army covered the area. So when the army put the whole things in front of us, it became more safe. So in very, very tense experience.
And that was your first GM post?
It was my first GM post.
Wow.
And after that, you got a very special award, I read.
Yeah, my previous company really recognized this all effort, but I had it there. It was very tense, but then after I get very memorable reward from my previous company, which is the company, very old company. Mm-hmm. And then in entire history, only 3 people received this award. I'm the one of them, so I'm really very proud of that. Wow. Not only for me, for my team as well. Still, I have very good connection with these people. And then we really did very good job together. So I received this reward not only for me, also behalf of them.
It sounds like it should be a book or a movie one day.
When I'm getting old,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
yeah.
write it. I'm still young.
That's interesting.
All right,
Remarkable.
let's take another short break, and then we come back with another section. I wanted to know a little bit about what is your perspective when it comes to the world of hoteliers, because we've always heard traditionally that Swiss hotelier schools are the top of the line, is the best, and a lot of people look forward to studying there and getting their careers started over there. How do you feel about that particular standard or that particular brand of hotelier careers?
I think the Swiss become the hotelier material per people, not because of the Swiss people. I think because of the location. Swiss is a kind of center place in the certain different countries in Europe. So they have, number one, language advantage. So every Swiss people can speak easily 4 languages. So that's what is very, very big advantage for the hotel industry. That's number one. Number two, Swiss people, when you look at the general country, very small country, and then mostly is a very small industry, so they don't have big industry.
Right.
All right, and then in Swiss, and also, it's not a huge tourism country like Italy, like Spain, like Portugal. It's not like this. So why they are becoming Swiss? Because of they are the certain location, and then they build the education system, and then they're not a heavy industrial people. They build a more service industry, hospitality schools there. So best schools, hospitality
but studying
schools.
in those schools, you think is an advantage for the career as a hotelier?
Oh, of course,
It is.
the advantage, because then you can get a lot of different experiences from those experienced people in advance, rather than you do your own experiences. There's a lot of loss of time. So that is of course advantage. But I also saying, for me, the school, it's a quite good key to be the success, but it's nothing to do with the school. You can be the success. It's
It
all
doesn't
about
determine it.
Yeah, it's not. I have a lot of friends. They graduate from the Harvard. They definitely really suffering to be really successful people. So it is school is definitely advantage, definitely good key, and then Swiss schools, it's really like every country has certain specialities, and in the certain areas, you go to the designer, you have to go Italy. If you go to the engineer, you have to go Germany.
Right.
You certain areas you have to
Specialize.
specialize for certain things. You have the business schools, you have to go to the America, so you have to get the business schools. That's kind of stuff. The hospitality become in Swiss because of the language areas, and then because of they are more open for the small service industry, so they don't have the heavy industry thing.
Yeah.
So also I wanted to ask about, you being from Turkey
Yes.
and in China the last 8 years, right? There are many expat communities, and like in Dongguan, for example, there are many Brazilians. It used to be a lot more, but still many Brazilians. It's known for that. I haven't met many Turkish people in China, probably maybe between 5 to 10, I think. Maybe if you live in some other cities, you meet more.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about the community of Turkish people in China. What kind of industries, or where are they? How many people?
Okay. Most of the Turkish people living in the big cities, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Beijing, Shanghai. We have approximately 3,000 to 4,000 people in China. And then what they do, they mostly do trade. And then we have like 35 hotelier
Oh, really?
in China.
Okay.
Yes. Either they are hotel general managers, either they are chef, either they are going to be hotel general managers. And little bit younger position.
Because tourism is big in Turkey, right? So
Tourism is big in Turkey.
It's a lot of people
It's,
in the industry.
especially like last 20 years, we
Right.
already put a lot of GMs out of the Turkey.
Mm.
This is also a cultural issue. Turkish people also didn't want to move out too much. They're almost family oriented. They don't want to go outside, and there you can see more German people. You can see outside more European people.
Europeans,
you can see
right?
so more individual people. More they want to travel,
Right.
and those are the cultural issue. Turkish people in what they do a lot of trade. They have some of the people is working on the stone business, mining.
Okay.
High-tech industry. We have a couple of people, especially in Shenzhen.
Okay. Turkish food. Any chefs?
We have chefs.
Yes.
We have chefs.
Yes.
We have very famous people. In Shenzhen, we have a few good restaurants,
Right,
Turkish good
yeah.
restaurant. Guangzhou has
Yeah.
a few good Turkish restaurant. What else?
When you meet
Students, we have a lot of students also. Yeah,
right.
especially in Beijing University, we have a lot of Turkish students.
We like to ask our guests from different countries, expats here, when you meet a Chinese person and they ask you where you're from and you say Turkey, what Turkey is
What
famous
is the reaction?
for? Yeah, what's the reaction? What Turkey is famous for in China?
I think this is a Turkish people faults or our fault. We didn't really promote Turkey in China very well, and it's getting. Of course, a few years, Turkey become famous because of the Cappadocia, which is this balloon tourisms, and then a couple of good songs related with Turkey. It's happened, and then people getting learning. But most of the people, they don't recognize Turkey still properly.
Okay, so they don't know much about Turkey.
They don't know.
Okay.
But same thing. If you go to Turkey,
They don't know much about China.
they don't know much about
Are there
China.
not many Chinese in Turkey?
Not much.
Okay.
A lot of Japanese, a lot of Korean,
Okay.
but less Chinese. But they don't know China. They think that China is still the place with the people planting the rice and then
Right.
running the bicycles,
Right. Yeah.
and then still they think they have a big hat, something like that. Turkish people thinking, when I send the pictures, and then they say, where are you? I said, I'm in China. I said, what is it? Why China like this? So they don't. This is also Chinese.
What should Turkey be famous for in China? In your opinion, what is a
Tourism.
good PR for Turkey? Tourism. So there are not many Chinese tourists to Turkey.
Now it's coming.
Okay.
Coming. So before the COVID, and we were having the target to be, because I'm the businessman association, the Turkish businessman association.
In China.
I'm the member in China, and we did a lot of meetings how we can increase the tourism in Turkey. So we're targeting 2 million tourists from China to Turkey. We reached 700,000. It was very less. It was 100,000 becomes 700,000.
Oh, wow. That's a big
that's
jump.
multiplier.
It is good. It was very good, because what Turkish government did, very easy visa. You can get
Israel did the same.
e-visa, and then people come choose, and then Turkey also has a lot of sightseeing place,
Yes.
which is really
It's quite famous for.
Chinese people liking, and then certain area become hotspot like Istanbul, and then Cappadocia with the balloon, people flying with the balloon and seeing the place.
The hot air balloon, yeah.
Yeah,
The hotels in Turkey are quite famous for the all-included stuff. At least for Israelis, you travel there a lot.
Yeah.
Like everything included. Like one price, it's all like a cruise.
like a
Yeah.
cruise.
Yes.
And that was established in the south of Turkey, and especially for German, Russian, and then no Middle Eastern tourists. It was very successful project, but successful for the hotel. It doesn't help to the city, because people go
Stay in the
and
hotel.
stay in the hotel. They never
didn't
go
go
to the
out.
city to do the shopping and
Yeah.
eating something. So it's not
Yeah.
really the long term. Now very good, but it worked very well until now. But now it's changing. Now it's getting a little bit more half board or bed and breakfast, this kind of
So
stuff.
you don't get like you said, Turkey didn't do yet good PR in China maybe, but so you don't get too much reaction, like people don't know, but you also don't get bad reaction.
No.
There is no. It's
No.
just they don't know too much about it.
No,
Turkey.
I mean, now after I say I'm from Turkey and people say, well, I was in Istanbul, I was that. So many reaction coming like that now. So I'm happy. And of course, and then now more people saying, but 6 years ago when I came, they didn't know where is even Turkey.
So it's
But
getting
now
better.
with more people going to Turkey, more people saying, "Oh, I was in Turkey last year or 2 years ago, or I'm going to go Turkey. My friend there." So a lot of reaction coming. This seems is growing a lot.
Right.
So I think if Turkey continue to do this good marketing and then good services, then it's gonna be good. Also, one thing is affecting on that. Many years Turkey has only certain area to direct flight from China to Turkey. So Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Hong Kong.
Right.
So now lately, Chengdu, Xi'an, and Wuhan, those are the areas also added. But it's only each day and one flight. So Turkey want to increase the frequency. If the frequency can increase, I'm sure a lot of people will go to Turkey. That's why people going to Japan, because Japan look like a Shanghai and Beijing. We have 6 flights a day to go from Beijing, to go from China to Tokyo, from Beijing to Tokyo.
Right.
So the transportation is a key to get the tourists.
For sure, Israel just added some flights a couple of years ago and made the 10-year visa agreement, and everybody wanted the Chinese tourists, right?
Of course,
you know.
And like the statistics says is approximately 150 million people traveling a year.
Yeah.
150 million. Turkey has an 80 million population. So only traveling to outside, from China to outside, 150 million people.
Right.
And you want to get like 10%.
Sure.
Yeah.
It would be great, right?
Yeah.
All right, it's almost midnight.
Yeah.
And we took a lot of your time, and we are very thankful for that.
It was great. Talk to you guys.
And I think that's all the time we have for today, right?
Yes,
Fernando?
sure. No, we want to thank you for your hospitality,
Yes.
right? For inviting us to talk to you. And, well, guys, you know what to do. If you liked our videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content of our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button. And don't forget to follow us in the social media links that you see over here. And, well, that's it for today.
Thank you,
That was,
Fuat.
of course,
Thank you, Zif.
China.
Bye.
Bye-bye.